to kick the ball and start this play. Lions shooting towards the scoreboard end of the ground as the referee blows his whistle, and we're off. It's forward from Courtney Meppen-Walters. There's the frame of Danny Ellis getting the first Liversedge touch on the ball. Flicked over to the right-hand side, out towards Colin Murphy. Haji Damba's first big test then is to try and clear this corner. It's gone right into the 6-yard box. Crowds of players in there. He couldn't get off his line for the numbers of bodies in front of him. Liversedge win it back. This one curled in. Oh, rasping drive from that left-hand side of the penalty area that just flew across the face of goal and wide. Thankfully, still behind. 5 minutes gone, 0-0.
No, it was silly that from Walton. That where he was telling the referee to look, that there'd been no contact between them, but might not be the worst thing in the world to get Courtney fired up. It comes so easily to him that sometimes he needs a bit of something to get him going, I think.
Scott Backo now on the ball for Guiseley on the left-hand side, gets his way into the penalty area, lays it back towards Hay. Lewis Hay just stabbed it towards the goal, didn't get his head over it, so it flies a bit too high and wide, hits the netting behind the scoreboard, and out for a goal kick to Liversedge. But good running there. I tell you what, Scott Backo, I'd like Gainsborough to stay down. I really enjoy going to Gainsborough.
Yeah, I was driving back from Lincolnshire yesterday. I drove past the turning for Gainsborough, and I was thinking exactly that. I was thinking, God, it's only an hour and a quarter down the road. Come on. Be good to keep some games like that in our calendar.
It's a robust tackle game, this one so far. Lewis Hay just makes a good run. The ball's put over the top there by Chippendale. Dispossesses on the right-hand side. The throw is taken and comes back in here to Meppen-Walters, who plays a lovely ball in here to Colin Murphy. Murphy on the right-hand side. He's got the overlapping run of Kachosa. Plays him through. Kachosa, edge of the 18-yard box, now looking for the cross. It's a good blocking challenge on him from Barrett. So he goes across to the other side, the other flank, puts the ball inside the D. The corner this time with his left foot, curls out towards the back post. Meppen-Walters gets on the end of it, floats it in towards the goal, and it's headed off the line and behind for a corner to the left flank. It's Barrett. No, it's not Barrett. It's Stewart, rather, who's come up. Then into Smythe again, into the box. It goes towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Again, looking to try and get the cross in is Walker. This time it deflects back off him and behind for a goal kick. Right, so free kick it is to Liversedge. Right arm up here as this one's going to be floated in. And it goes in towards the 6-yard box. As Walker again battles for it. This one goes out of play. No, it doesn't. It's kept in play. And it's kept in play by Bakker. Plays it down the left-hand side. Kachosa's up here. He's got Lewis Hay with him if he can feed it through. Lewis Hay's onside, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Saved brilliantly by Porter. Really good play there from the Lions. From the clearance by Bakker, it went through to Kachosa on the left-hand side. He timed the ball through to Hay really well, who beat the offside trap. 1-on-1 with Porter. You thought it was Hay who was going to open the scoring, but Porter put out an arm brilliantly to deny Guiseley. It's still 0-0. One throw to come in from this side. As Liversedge look to press just before the break. We're into stoppage time, just 2 minutes to be added. It's still in the penalty areas. It's headed up towards Danny Ellis. He gets something of a header, but it's not very dangerous in the end. It just nods through to Haji Damba, who rolls it out to Kachosa, who plays it over the top here. It's a bit too much for Chippendale to hope to get onto the end of, and it rolls through to Jordan Porter. Stoppage time, scoreless here. And the referee calls time and a half with not too much to talk about. Guys, he come closest of the two sides to opening the scoring. The best moments have been Meppen-Walters, who headed towards goal from a Lewis Hay corner. That one was headed off the line and over the bar brilliantly. On the prospects of the game, Lewis Whittam's the obvious one. On Bakker, as we get underway. When he came on low, changed our fortunes completely. Overhitting all the way through to Haji Damba. He's yet really untroubled in the Lions' goal.
If you're Jonathan Rimington at half-time, you're saying you're playing a kid in goal and you've not tested him yet. You know, you're fighting for your survival.
It's a chance here for them to do that as well. The ball's on the right-hand side. It's into the 6-yard box, played over the bar. And a goal kick, despite Walton's protestations that it should be a corner. That was a brilliant ball down that right-hand side. It fizzed across the 6-yard box. Haji Damba would have had no chance at point-blank range. Walton out to the left-hand side where Kwame Boateng is playing. Over the top now by Daly. Hay tumbles, and the referee gives a free kick against him from Hay. The Lions still keep it live. Good ball from Hay. Gets the ball back inside the penalty area. Lays it off nicely. There's nobody in that space to occupy it. And then the counter-attack could be on. Jamil Eibel tries to capture the ball high up the field. Loses out, but good work between Eibel. Blocked really well here. And now Boateng steps up towards the halfway line. Side down. Referee plays on because Boateng's back on his feet. Finds Hay. Hay can't get past his man. And in the end, it's an opportunity lost for Guiseley, although Hay wins it back. Wins it to Whelan. Whelan towards the edge of the D. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Backer, edge of the penalty area, right side. Drills it across towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Deflects off Ellis. Picked up by Hay. Misdirects his shot, and it's wide for a goal kick. Still 0-0. 60 minutes gone. Eibel wearing the number 20 shirt now because he had to replace his shirt due to what looked like a bleeding nose in the first half. It's gone over the top of him. Walton's through. Walker, he's onside. He skies an open goal. Nicky Walker had the perfect chance to give Liversedge the lead. The ball bounced forward. It looked as if Walton had played the ball through to Walker. There was 2 claims for offside. The Lions were caught flat-footed. And then when the ball went through to Walker, Haji Damba had come out to close Walton, was misplaced, wouldn't have been able to prevent the goal had Walker just kept his shot down. Walton's head in his hands at the moment. Nicky Walker has had a fine chance to give Liversedge a lead there. Still scoreless. Contention for the playoffs. The ball is again in the Lions' half. It's all Liversedge in this passage. And they've got this opportunity again with Cartman playing it into the area. Shot at the near post is saved by Haji Damba as Jack Carr makes a fine run and gets a shot from a very tight angle that should have been saved by Haji Damba and indeed was and claimed. He plays it out to Cachosa. It's been one of the bright spots, I think, in recent weeks. Infield to Ross Daly. Cachosa again. So got to see if he can craft an angle for a cross. He plays it out towards the back post and there's a lunging effort there from Murphy. Keeps it live but can't keep it goal bound and it's out. His team, to be perfectly honest, Taran Gadso looks like a centre-half, though. He's tall and...
He looks big.
Yeah, strong by the looks of it. Walker gets on the ball. He gets a shot away. It was more of a snapshot. It bounced off the ground a couple of times as it went towards goal, so it was comfortable for Haji Damba, who did what he needed to do to claim the ball.
Struggling further down than their fans expect that they should be.
Same with Forest Green then, isn't it? That's the same scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salford, Forest Green.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicky Walker now trying to get the ball into the box. For Liversedge, it's almost run its way through. Nejman's there to get the clearance. Picked up again. Really well worked here. The shot comes away. Haji Damba watches it bounce as Connor Smythe's effort.
In the same vein next year. But they bring fans, don't they? It's extra money through the gates for small clubs. I suppose it's probably good for us.
Good for Murphy now as well. He's got a bit of space on this right-hand side. Being put through and back up into the 6-yard box. Shout for an handball as the ball was crossed in there. Penalties being given. I think it might be the substitute Taran Gadso who's the guilty party. But the Lions have the chance to end Liversedge's tenure now. As a penalty will be taken by Courtney Meppen-Walters.
I might have spoken too soon when I said it didn't look like there'd be a goal.
Meppen-Walters. Chance to give Guiseley the lead. Blast the ball. Puts it into the bottom right-hand corner. The Lions have the advantage. The Lions score the first goal in a game for the first time since February, but brilliantly. It's a home penalty that gives Courtney Meppen-Walters the goal that could give Guiseley 3 points from the final home game of the season and a good send-off to the season here at Nethermoor. for Guiseley. Guiseley 1, Liversedge 0.
Get him in as the draft excluder under the wall.
Michael Stone, who came on, and Nicky Walker was standing over it, and as you can probably tell from the jeers, that one has harmlessly been flighted over the bar. Ball's gone out of play. The referee blows the final whistle to call curtain on the game here at Nethermoor and the season here at Nethermoor as well. And Haji Damba is very happy as he's celebrating on that side of the field. He's enjoyed the fact that he's made a good debut. He's kept a clean sheet. But the goal that marked probably the end of Liversedge's time in the Northern Premier League, in the top flight anyway, is one that was from the penalty spot, converted by Courtney Meppen-Walters after a handball spotted in the 6-yard box. There was precious little in it, though, in truth, this game. Liversedge perhaps could and should have got themselves in front in that second half. They had 2 or 3 real gilt-edged chances. Nicky Walker managed to fire the ball over the bar from a chance that perhaps he would have not want to look back on anyway. You certainly won't want to see the video of that. Other than that, though, the Lions, who've had some good opportunities here, there seems to be a bit of a kerfuffle down the tunnel now to end this game. As it finishes anyway, Guiseley 1, Liversedge 0.
Paul, that's broken a disappointing sequence of results. The goal was a bit time coming, but it felt like a lot better performance than last week, at least from a spectator's point of view.
I thought we probably played better against Liversedge a little bit, played better football. I thought we run out of energy and run out of legs. Unfortunately, second half, then you're looking at your bench, and no disrespect to the bench, you had quite a lot of defenders, and we're looking for a bit of inspiration. I thought we played some really good stuff first half, started off really well, got behind a number of times, but for me, when you get them chances, Courtney off the line, Lewis has gone through, it changes the complexion of the game, doesn't it? But for me, that's when you've got good players, you've got to put the ball in the net and take the game away. I thought we sort of, Adji come in, I thought was outstanding, did everything that we asked him to do. But no, listen, you need a scrappy win to get out of this little rut that we're in. We've got another game to come now, decent attendance, local derby, so bragging rights. We asked them to show a bit of pride, a bit of passion, and I think you've seen that. So listen, to take me after them, I've probably chastised them enough over the last couple of weeks of doing that. So we've stuck in the game, we've worked hard, and I think we deserve that little look for what we've done.
I noticed from the sidelines that your intensity hasn't dropped, even though it's an end-season game, and so that drives the players. You know?
Yeah, I think sometimes, listen, I can overstep the mark, I'll be honest, because I want to win that much, and I've got to know where the line is. But for me, I think some of the players have got to have a bit more winning feeling and a bit more pride in winning as well. So listen, that'll be instilled. But I'm not coming out here. Everyone's give 100% today. Obviously, Courtney couldn't play after 60 minutes. He's pulled his hamstring. I think that's just the way it's gone. Chippendale's gone off with an hamstring. And I think again that comes down from the base being fit, as we said the other week. But we've won the game. Let's go and win next week, and let's see where we can finish. And
Courtney took his penalty away neatly. I thought more convincing than his first one.
I never watch him. I did. What I said is that he scored, and after 60 minutes he said I can't carry on, and then he scored the penalty and legged it forward to hit the penalty. Then does a tipple over after it. So I said, you're not coming off whatsoever now after doing that. So listen, it was a penalty. It was a nailed-on penalty. I think if he doesn't handball it, the next touch is going to be someone putting it in the net. So listen, I think that's the way we did that a number of times. I think Ethan did that a number of times, and the end product just wasn't there. I thought we'd run out of luck, run out of quality, but in the end we got that little bit of luck I thought we need, what we deserved.
As you mentioned, it's great for Hadji to have a clean sheet on his first team competitive debut, I think. Yeah.
He would have played Monday, but he had a slight knock on his thumb, so for me he would have played Monday, and he had to be right. I think he's done ever so well. I think we've given him his chance. He's got another chance next week, and then hopefully he can push Cam come back in pre-season.
Yeah, I was talking to Cam, and he reckons he's not far away with the injury now. Leave it till next season. Yeah.
Cam's got a mentality of a goalkeeper and a nutcase, because he said last week, "Listen, strap me up, I'll play." And no disrespect, what's the point of doing that? We don't want to make it a long-term injury. We want to make sure he's back and ready for us to hit the ground running come pre-season. So, listen, that's his mentality. That's the mentality that you want. But I think sometimes you've got to sort of reel him in.
Yeah. And Jamil, player of the season, he has been incredibly consistent, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's why we signed him. Thought we'd come in, and I'll be honest with you, I was unsure whether it was going to be right for us, but on and off the pitch, he's conducted himself brilliantly. I think he deserves it. I know Courtney's had a lot of plaudits when he's played and when he's come in, but for me, Jam's sort of given the right foil to do what he needs to do, Courtney, because sometimes he can be a lady believer to be perfectly honest, and he needs to rack it up his backside. So, listen, I think we need competition for places in there. I think we need people that are going to talk more. Jam's that kind of player that we need in the team, and I congratulate him on his award.
And I know you've spoken, and Dave's spoken about you're already planning for next season. So how's that going at the moment?
Good. It's just say you're planning, you're putting things in place. Not just players, you've got to put other things in place. As a club, we're putting stuff in place, but we've got a good base. The problem we've got at this time of year, you don't know who's going to go up, who's going to go down. You don't know what player's going to come surplus. People are holding out for different things. So you've just got to sort of touch base with people, keep in touch with people, try and tell them what we're trying to do, tell them what the atmosphere we're trying to create, and then try and sell the club, which we've got a great club here that we can sell. So for me, that's what we're doing at the moment, setting the ball rolling. We've been doing that for a number of weeks, but it's now when the season ends, you've got to get the yes or no's that we're going to take us forward.